Welcome back to the live lounge here at PF International at the KartMasters British Kart Grand Prix. I'm your host, Chris McCarthy. I'm now joined by Formula E racer and also a team boss and a former winner of KartMasters back in 2002. We're going to delve into all of that. Ollie Rowland, thanks very much for joining us here in the live lounge. Let's start by talking a little bit about how your team's getting on this weekend. Oliver Rowland Motorsport, how's it going so far?
Yeah, good. I think we have plenty of quick drivers, and we've got a busy team, especially with the new Water Swift class. But so far, so good. I think all the drivers have pretty good speed. The ones at the front are in with a chance to win. Of course, you have to have Lady Luck on your side at KartMasters on the Sunday, but I think we're in it to win it, so we're pushing to get the result tomorrow.
And you focused on the cadet class as well, haven't you? Working with the junior drivers. Just tell us what the thinking was behind. Was that just something you preferred, working with drivers as they were just starting out in their career?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, well, we obviously started the team with Arvid Lindberg back in 2017, and it was more just a random thing that we had an idea with his dad to do one time, and clearly it went pretty well. And I think in cadets it's quite a niche market, so there's not that many teams that have been able to do well in the past. And obviously we were able to get really good results with Arvid, so I think it made sense for us to continue on that trajectory and build on those results. We did do a little bit of Junior X30 with Burgoyne and Carr in when was it, 2020? But yeah, it was tough, taking rookies into a new class and not having the experience. We decided to just focus on that because I think you can do the most with the kids when they're at that age as well.
Of course, the heat's now complete for all the cadet classes, aren't they? Tell us a little bit about how it's looking for your drivers tomorrow. I know pre-final grids go up soon. What do you think your chances are?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, we're there with the speed at the front. I think in Water Swift you've got Noah Baglin, Henry Domain at the front, and then you've got Henry Carter, who's been doing a really good job as well. And also Kanish Rao, who has great speed. And then in the Ayami class, we've got quite an inexperienced lineup, but again, Henry Domain's been pretty quick in that. And Buckley and Lovett as well have been right at the sharp end. So hopefully we can get a result with some of them tomorrow.
I know you've been racing, of course, Formula E with the Mahindra team this season, but here in the live lounge we're focusing on My Road to Victory, and we're talking KartMasters. You won the GP plate back in 2002, so 20 years ago in the Coma Cadet class. Tell us, do you remember much about the weekend, winning GP plate? Do you remember who you were racing against?
I remember it very well. It was my first big race event victory, so I was only, I think, 9 at the time, so I was pretty young even for a cadet driver.
Yeah.
And I remember it because obviously I won the race, but there was a protest afterwards about the last lap.
Right.
And I didn't actually get to go on the podium in the middle of the track, which I was really upset about. But yeah, I was fighting with Scott Jenkins on the last lap, and he tried to come up the inside a little bit at the chicane, and I forced him onto the grass. He wasn't really alongside anyway, but yeah, I ended up keeping the win afterwards anyway, so that was good.
Do you remember some of the other names that were around in the class at that time?
Yeah, so I remember on that day, I think David Bell Chambers was.
Yeah.
He won in juniors because he was actually my teammate at the time. I have this strange memory, being sat on the grass here whilst the trophy presentation was happening. Obviously, I didn't get to actually go up and collect my trophy, but I remember being sat there. I can't remember who else won in the other classes on those days. I just remember Bell Chambers specifically. Yeah.
Let's talk about coming into the KartMasters weekend. You said that was your first big win. How had the season gone up until that point then? It's
a long time.
Yeah. No, but do you feel coming into that weekend that you had a good shot?
Yeah, I mean, I was always quick, but sometimes when you're a kid, you have to kind of break. You have to get the monkey off your back, as they say, and I hadn't. So I hadn't won a big event, and obviously you put a lot of pressure on yourself when you're a kid. So I knew I'd be in it to win it, but I don't think I expected to win it. It was quite a nice surprise, to be honest.
Well, you said you remember the final. Let's go to that. Do you remember where you started for the final?
Third, I think.
Yeah. And how did it go off? Do you remember much about?
I think I want to say that we pushed away together as a 2 or a 3. There may have been somebody else. We pushed away as a 3. Came down to typical cadet race, tactical. Yeah. Had to be in the lead at the right time. Took the lead at the right time and held on just to to the finish line. But yeah, I think I started third, and I then won the following 2 years the pre-final, I think, in cadet twice. Never won the final. I always had bad luck, and it was something that always eluded me ever since.
Yeah, tell us, about how it was. You said that was your first big win. I know you didn't get to go on the podium, but how was it being then able to run the GP plate and everything like that?
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously, I was absolutely delighted when you're a young kid. You grow up watching the other kids above you win, and you always want to do it. So that first one was definitely special. To run the GP plate was obviously special. Yeah, I remember being super excited after I won. It was a good feeling.
Do you think this is a race that can help you really push on as a driver if you win this? Do you think that helped you in terms of confidence? And
Oh, for sure, in terms of confidence. Like I said, I hadn't won a big race, so it was a huge victory for me. But yeah, I do, and I also think nowadays as well, the way they do the format, where they do the qualifying and the heats on Friday, and then they have mixed heats on the Saturday.
Yeah.
I feel like as an event, it's for an all-rounder. You have to have the speed, you have to race with the quick guys at the front, and then on the next day they mix everything up.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday you're all basically starting, depending on how good you are at both.
Yeah.
So I honestly think as an event, it's a great all-rounder. Obviously the weather's always good. Most of the time it's sunny, it's hot. Yeah, they put on a great loads of kids stuff and loads of fun things to do as well, which was a great weekend.
It's definitely made huge strides forwards as an event since from when you raced, I bet.
Yeah, huge. I mean, it already felt massive when I was a kid. I think most things do when you're a kid. It always feels huge, and then as you grow up, things seem to get smaller. But I think particularly over the last years, they took a big step, with the big live screen down there, and the barbing up, and a lot of the dad's lights. It's good fun.
Good stuff. Well, let's come to our question of the day then to wrap things up. So our question of the day then, if you could go back in time and race at any KartMasters in any class, which would it be and why? It can be one since you stopped racing.
I'm not sure of the year. You might be able to help me out on the year, but there was a year when a lot of the European teams used to come over and race in Formula A. So it must have been 2004 or 5.
2004, 5, yeah.
I think, did Baz Lammers win?
I think that was around 05 actually. Yeah, we have it on the paper.
I would race in that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not the first person to say that, you see, because someone else mentioned that year.
I think it was that year, and I think Ardigo came and the Tony Kart team came, and I was watching thinking, wow, all the big guys are here. And the Brits were really strong as well. I think Gary Catt was racing.
Yeah.
I think Baz Lammers won, I think. And then Ardigo was good. I think he was with Tony Kart. Even ORM may have come as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I remember just thinking, wow, I would love to be in that. And I think if I look back over the years, that's probably the one that I'd want to compete in the most. Although I've seen quite a few cool, good races as well here over the years.
Yeah, I think we'll see some good ones tomorrow, hopefully with your guys at the front. Well, best of luck for tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us at the live lounge. Oliver Rowland, thank you.